Stop. Stop. Hey.
Five people, two girls ages 14 and 16, two women Alexandria Nance 20 and Christine Esters 38, and a 31-year-old man Joshua Nance, were found dead in one house at 2212 West Acres Road, and two people, a 35-year-old man William Esters II, and a 47-year-old woman Tameka Nance, were found dead in the other at 2225 West Acres Road, according to Evans and the Will County Coroner's Office. Tameka Nance was Romeo Nance's mother, Christine Esters was his aunt, and William Esters was his uncle. He also fatally shot a brother, Joshua Nance, and three sisters, Alexandria Nance and a 16-year-old and 14-year-old whose names were not released. Neighbors said Romeo Nance lived at 2212 West Acres Road.
You have a warrant. You're under arrest. Put your hand behind your back. Hand behind your back. Hold his hand. Hold his hand. Hey, back up. Stay over there.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have a warrant.
Stop clenching, man.
He doesn't have a warrant. No, he doesn't. Who do you think he is?
Romeo Nance got it.
No, bro. He doesn't
got anything on him?
He doesn't have a warrant, bro.
Relax. Stop telling us that. Yes, he does.
Okay.
Get back.
I'm calling.
Not that big of a deal, bro.
Bro, he's going to a leg appointment, bro.
Hey, okay. Relax. Listen.
No.
It's not that big. Let us do our job and we'll talk to you. All right.
No, let us do our job. You guys are Hey, the police are over here taking Romeo. I don't know. They say he has a warrant. Do you have a search warrant?
No.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Hey, Mendes,
Bro, leave him alone.
Stop.
hey, keep that. Just don't keep everyone away from the car.
Hold on. Send them. Tag 3. Send us a marked unit with a cage over here, please.
Hey, don't go near them. Stay over here. Come over here.
It's not.
First of all,
Okay, come over here,
show me
please.
the warrant. Show me the warrant.
Okay, I don't have it on me. Okay?
Show me the warrant. Show me.
Well,
Show me now.
We're a little busy right now, okay?
No, show me now.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. You're just going to have to wait.
Go. No, you can't. A warrant.
Yes, we can.
No, you cannot.
Yes, we can.
Let me call.
Okay, go ahead.
Stop.
Grab my phone. It's on the credenza.
You good?
Hey, 32.
Man wants to show me the warrant to be
32.
There it goes.
Extended one in the mag.
Good.
One in the chamber, I mean. Wow, violent person. Wow, y'all really just be tagging on who's driving. No wonder how y'all know how to get on a motherfucker real quick. Y'all look up and then just ping a motherfucker like, nah, there's somebody with a violent history. There's somebody with a history of criminal abuse. There's somebody with some this, that, and the other. Around be just somebody that's a junkie and look up and be like, nah, this might have drugs on.
Server 1, could you hear me? I'm clear.
Wow, that's crazy. Usually I just be driving through the streets. Anytime it flash off, I get on my head.
Joliet police said earlier Monday, they responded to the 2200 block of West Acres Road and 2 people dead in one home, and 5 more dead in another home. Their names, genders and ages have not been released. The night before, Will County Deputy Sheriff Dan Jungles said his deputies were called to a home at 5 Pheasant Run Lane, where they found a person with a gunshot wound to the head. That victim, identified as 28-year-old Toyosi Bakare, was taken to a local hospital where he died from his injuries. Jungles said he was originally from Nigeria and had been in Will County for the past 3 years. About 10 minutes before that, Will County officials said another man was injured in another shooting connected to the same vehicle. New video shows that shooting on Davis Avenue. In it, you can see a man getting supplies from a car when a red Toyota Camry pulls up. A few words are exchanged before the driver pulls away. But moments later, as the 42-year-old victim walks home, the driver of the Camry pulls around and opens fire. You can hear the gunshots and then see the suspect in a red Toyota Camry speed away. The victim was wounded in the leg. Police were able to identify the suspect and vehicle, but were not able to locate them. As a result, Jungles said his deputies set up surveillance near that home at about midnight, but they saw no sign of Nance. After about 12 hours of surveillance, the deputies approached the home listed as Nance's last known address, saw blood outside and made entry. Inside, he said, they found 2 people who had been fatally shot and contacted the Joliet Police Department. Police said the second house, in which 5 people were found dead, was inhabited by some of Nance's relatives, so they checked that house as well and made their gruesome discovery.
Afternoon after making a gruesome discovery in 2 homes, and now there's an active manhunt underway for a person considered armed and dangerous. Police at this hour are seeking an individual by the name of Romeo Nance. Authorities releasing a photo of Nance, and they say he may be driving a red Toyota Camry. Joliet police responding this afternoon to the 2200 block of West Acres Road that's on the west side of Joliet. Authorities say multiple people were found shot to death in 2 homes on that block. Police have not said exactly how many victims.
And 7 of the 8 victims, but still no explanation, no motive as to what would have led this 23-year-old who died by suicide in Texas Monday night to kill most of his immediate family. There's maybe not much more to say as those who are just beginning to mourn the loss of 7 family members, apparently at the hands of another, try to wrap their heads around the magnitude of this tragedy. Members of Joliet Township's violence prevention program, Peace Over Violence, setting up shop on the block where they were killed.
We're going to be walking through the neighborhood, canvassing, talking to neighbors, hopefully if they're willing to engage.
And while the victims' names were released yesterday, it was only today police confirmed their relationship to alleged shooter Romeo Nance. They are his mother, an older brother, 3 younger sisters, an uncle, and an aunt who was a corrections officer at Joliet's treatment center. Attorney Jordan Killian represented Nance in a road rage incident 1 year ago that saw him accused of firing several times at a woman's vehicle. He was out on bond pending his trial.
It was a good family. From what I understood, a tight-knit family that supported each other, so it's just incredibly tragic.
With the 2 youngest victims still high schoolers and 1 a recent graduate, Joliet Township Superintendent Carla Guzman released this statement, reading in part, "Words cannot adequately express the sadness that we are feeling right now. They just cannot. Our JTHS community is grieving this senseless loss, and our hearts are aching for Alana, Alexandria, their family, and all of our students and staff who are experiencing such a deep loss and sorrow."
Investigators have not yet determined a motive for the shooting deaths of 8 people in Joliet after the suspected gunman was found dead by apparent suicide in Texas on Monday night. "We can't get inside his head. We just don't have any clue as to why he did what he did," Joliet Police Chief Bill Evans said Tuesday afternoon of the suspected shooter, 23-year-old Romeo Nance. Evans said investigators believe the shooting spree began at 2 homes across the street from each other in the 2200 block of West Acres Road on Sunday, although the 7 people who were killed there were not found until Monday morning. "This incident has had a tremendous impact on the city of Joliet," said Evans. "It's had a tremendous impact on my agency both mentally and physically." Evans said Nance was related to most, if not all, of the people in the 2 homes, although their exact relationships with one another and Nance are not yet clear. "We're still sorting through that," Evans said. Investigators believe after the shootings on West Acres Road, Nance then shot a 42-year-old man in the leg Sunday afternoon in the 200 block of Davis Street in Joliet. That man was the only victim to survive the shooting spree. "It was 9 gunshots," said neighbor Curtis Ellis. "That's a whole clip that he was trying to load in this guy, and lucky that he just didn't hit a vital organ." Around 4:15 p.m. Sunday, Surveillance video shows a red Toyota Camry associated with Nance passing by a man taking out his groceries. The driver of the Camry says something to the man taking out the groceries, and then drives to the end of the block before making a U-turn, stopping and firing 9 times. About 10 minutes later, investigators believe Nance shot and killed 28-year-old Toyosi Bakare at the Pheasant Run Apartments complex in unincorporated Joliet Township on Sunday afternoon. Bakare, who was originally from Nigeria and lived in the U.S. for about 3 years, was found bleeding on the ground from a gunshot wound. He was rushed to an area hospital where he was pronounced dead. Detectives had learned that Bakare had left his home to buy cigarettes at a local gas station when he was shot. While Will County Sheriff's detectives were investigating Bakare's shooting death, they began a search for the red Toyota Camry Nance was believed to be driving. When their search came up empty, authorities set up surveillance at Nance's last known address on the 2200 block of West Acres Road. Monday morning, deputies walked to the home where the Toyota's registered owner lived on West Acres Road, and when they got no answer, they went to a house across the street where a relative of the car's owner lived. Deputies found blood at that home and then went into both houses, where they found a total of 7 people dead. Investigators believe at some point while he was in Texas, he pulled into a shopping mall parking lot, where he stole the license plates from another car and put them on the Toyota in an attempt to throw investigators off his trail. Working with federal authorities and other law enforcement officials in Texas, a helicopter was able to locate Nance's car on Interstate 35. The local sheriff's office was notified as Nance crossed from Behar County into Medina County in Texas. He later pulled into a Chubby's Travel Center and Valero gas station in Natalia, Texas, where he fled from his vehicle as law enforcement officials arrived on the scene. U.S. Marshals followed Nance as he ran from the car and rounded the corner of the gas station. Officers and federal agents chased Nance, who later shot and killed himself. The girlfriend of a Joliet area murder suspect pleaded not guilty to obstruction of justice in Will County Court Thursday. Joliet police said 21-year-old Kylie Cleveland Singleton made statements in an attempt to stop police from arresting her boyfriend, Romeo Nance, after he allegedly shot 9 people, 8 fatally, in Will County. Police said they first made contact with Cleveland Singleton when they were looking for their son in the aftermath of the shootings. During the investigation, detectives were told the child may be with his mother and grandmother at a home in Plainfield. Police went to that home where they found the child as well as Cleveland Singleton. While she voluntarily went with police for questioning about the shooting spree, detectives believe she made statements to prevent them from apprehending Nance and to obstruct the investigation.
Kylie Cleveland is accused of misleading investigators while a manhunt was underway for her boyfriend, who police say murdered 8 people, including several members of his own family. CBS 2's Andrew Ramos was at Will County Court in Joliet and has new information on the case.
Kylie Cleveland is back home tonight and being ordered to stay there on electronic monitoring after she was charged with obstruction of justice. This as CBS 2 has learned new details about where she went after her boyfriend killed 8 people.
21-year-old Kylie Cleveland appeared before a Will County judge accused of withholding critical information about her boyfriend Romeo Nance, who is also the father of her 3-year-old son. Investigators believe Nance fatally shot multiple members of his own family, including his mother, aunt, uncle, brother, and 3 sisters. He would later shoot 2 men at random, leaving a total of 8 people dead and 1 injured. Detectives are still trying to determine what Cleveland knew, if anything, about the murders. CBS 2 has learned through sources that after the rampage took place, Cleveland went to a local sports bar in Joliet, where she was hanging out with friends around 9 p.m. According to the source, the 21-year-old appeared to be pacing back and forth while at Double J Sports Bar. It would be the following night when Cleveland was brought in for questioning at the Joliet Police Department. That's where detectives said she gave false information and lied about not having Nance's phone number.
It's a big deal, but the trick is whether or not they could prove it.
Considering that the gunman took his own life, Cleveland at this point is the only person charged in connection to this case. And experts say when you factor in the gravity of the crime, if found guilty, that will certainly play a role in her sentence.